Can't find Zoom on my desktop, but I'm just gonna let that go. What what started early?
What are you
What?
recording? Oh shit.
It's your
Hey, you're
fucking
good.
thing.
3, 2, 1, go.
I guess we'll do it live.
Hi everyone.
That's what happens when Pat's
Oh, hold on. I need to stop.
What?
What? Why are we stopping?
I had sound coming out, so.
Oh.
Are
So,
we
all right.
better?
Yep, go for it.
Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome to Never Split the Party. This is our Starfinder show. As you can tell, Justin did his thing again.
Audio
Yeah,
people
that's
don't know anything.
incredible.
I am infallible.
Yeah, okay.
He's right.
Tonight is season 3, episode 13. If you haven't seen any of the other seasons or episodes this season, you can find them all on YouTube at bit.ly slash never YouTube. That's the one. Or if you like it in audio verse a little bit better, you can hit up bit.ly slash never podcast or literally search Never Split the Party podcast on anything and we should show up, including Spotify now. If you do find us on audio, please rate the crap out of us. We appreciate that.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Justin, your audio is low, apparently.
My audio?
Yes.
Steven, that's rude. Can you hear me better now?
Actually, I
Wait,
could hear
wait.
Dustin before
How could
Justin
that
was like,
possibly
there's
be?
sound coming out. And then I didn't hear him when
I'm pretty
Justin
sure
gave
Steven
the all
might be
clear.
messing.
I hear Dustin
Yeah, because
fine.
I do
Justin, how
too.
does Dustin sound?
Yeah.
Hello, this is me. My name's Dustin.
Falcon Wolf and Leviathan both said.
Which
Okay.
means that there's something with the audio that Justin's pushing out.
That's what I
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Here, let me
Only
bump
Justin
up the
is
desktop
audible.
audio a little
Correct.
Can you not hear anybody else, folks?
Well,
Yeah,
they
so
can hear
Justin
us, but
recommend-
it's soft.
bit. The desktop audio is up as far as it can go.
Okay, but don't just do nothing. Let's fix it.
Let's restart.
Hey,
Everybo-
folks. We'll
still.
be back in a second.
So is that still soft, everybody?
They can't hear you.
Well, they can hear him, just not
They
us.
can hear him.
Because
But he didn't
to
say
me,
that.
I see the meter going up. It's in the green. It's perfectly fine. So I don't know why it's not.
Is it in the green when I'm talking, Justin?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay.
I mean, it's all in the green.
It's all in the green.
So-
Steve says it's a bit better now.
I'm not going to test because I'm always super loud, so they're going to hear me no matter what.
Testing,
Oh
testing,
yeah,
testing,
yeah, that
testing.
is very low.
Are we actually better?
All right. Do we want to? Let's see.
Just
How
waiting
about-
for some feedback from Steve. I think
If
it's better.
If I turn
will-
up my.
What do you mean you think it's better?
How about that?
Well,
Because
yeah, he
Patrick
needs
wasn't
to
talking?
speak.
I think everybody is better.
I turned up my system volume. So.
I guess
Yeah,
I
eat
could
some
turn up
ice
the volume
cream.
on mine, but I'll go crazy.
You're good. You're good. I think you guys
Alright.
are fine.
Falcon Wolf says getting there. Woo. Thank you guys.
Any
All
more?
right.
Does it need any
But,
more,
but
guys?
we're
This
not
is why
there
we do this.
yet. We're getting there.
I think getting there is going to be good enough for us tonight. All right. I'm just going to start from the top. Welcome, folks, to Never Split the Party. This is our Starfinder show, Mostly Harmful. This is season 3, episode 13. If you have not caught any of our previous seasons or the previous 12 episodes this season, you can find them all on bit.ly/neveryoutube. We're also in audio land just by searching Never Split the Party podcast anywhere we should pop up, including Spotify. If you do find us in audio land, please rate the crap out of us. We really appreciate it, and it helps other people find us.
We're on Spotify now?
We are on Spotify now.
That's
As of
awesome.
like 2 months ago.
Oh,
Maybe
that's
it's
really. I
longer.
didn't know that.
And yeah, and Google Play. Yes, thank you, Falcon Wolf. We are also having a quick after party tonight after the show. After party is something we do after every Starfinder episode and sometimes other episodes. Basically, it's just where the players, as many of us are available, not Pat, hang out, sit, talk shop, or usually talk crap about Patrick because he often leaves quickly. If you ever want to catch our old ones, those are all available on Patreon. It's pretty much our only Patreon exclusive content right now, other than some posts I've done here and there. We would love any support you guys can offer, but obviously, if you can't, you can get at least the first after party of every month live on YouTube. So feel free to check that out on our YouTube as well. All right, that's a spiel. I'm going to be good with that. My name is Dustin. I also go by the Arbitrary Nerd, and I'm going to let my lovely cast introduce themselves.
I'm Justin. I play Seeker the Android Technomancer, who also plays Biggles the Chowder, the neo pre-post classical ambient, euphoric, down-tempo, trance, wave, DJ.
I think he's been changing it every time.
No, I
I know
haven't.
he
Nope,
hasn't.
I haven't.
I wonder. He probably has it written right above his monitor.
No, because
No.
he won't.
Explains why his
I
eyes
don't
were
have it
rolling
in
into
a
the back of his
notepad
skull.
or anything. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I think that makes me next, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I'm Chris, and I play Military Top, the best Durkin mechanic on this side of the galaxy. Right now, he's chilling out with our dead friend from Yox, and he's eating some popcorn. But me, I'm eating ice cream.
See,
Great.
Biggles is ready to be a
I thought you
DJ
were
and enter
Pumpkin
the
Ghost.
DJ contest.
I'm also a pumpkin ghost.
Oh yeah.
All right. Michael,
All
please.
right. Yep. I'm Michael, and I play Zero, the android operative, who is feeling pretty good about himself because he just destroyed somebody, destroyed somebody to the point that they killed themselves,
Actually,
and they
Clown
were in a
Baby.
Jarl Slayer.
it was Clown Baby who
Yep.
caused someone to destroy themselves.
You killed a baby?
No. Zero's name was Clown Baby. That's
Oh,
what
that
I
was
entered
his-
him in as.
that
It's
was his
Clown
ring
Baby.
Patrick
You
wants
get
to-
it
Ghost and
if you
Clown
ever
Baby.
watched Always Sunny, Patrick. Get with the times.
He also doesn't watch our Starfinder episodes, so he has no idea what happened last week, which is fine.
Truth.
Patrick, feel free to introduce your. Oh wait, is this thing where we skip you to go to Nick?
No, it doesn't matter.
Fine.
I'm not Rye, so.
Okay.
But go ahead, skip me.
Alrighty then.
I did that just to see the pain on Destiny's.
The headache is becoming more visceral and into focus.
Oh god.
This is Nick, and I play Dren. He is currently under the guise known as Conroy Bricks, and everybody believes him to be Conroy Bricks.
No.
Definitely
It's
not
the
true.
shittiest disguise ever.
So shitty, I didn't even give him a roll.
I think you probably just taped like a mustache over your face or something.
He's
Oh, yeah.
wearing like a mechanic's outfit, right? Because you were looking like a greaser.
Yeah.
Or am I? Was that wrong?
Grease Monkey.
Grease monkey. Sorry, grease monkey. That is my note. Grease monkey. And Patrick, feel free to introduce yourself.
Sure. I am Patrick. I previously played Arai, the captain, and I think I'm currently playing the emulation of Rye that is named Rex, not to be confused with Rex, and I don't know my current status. Because every time I go away, something bad happens. I've been told that I might be missing items, but I'm guessing that's parts.
Oh, it's all parts.
All of the parts?
All of the parts, as a matter of fact.
Hi, I'm Patrick, and I don't have a character again.
You actually are gonna have two characters tonight. It's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Wait, what?
Play a pile of junk.
Nope, I got this.
That's
All
just
right.
my everyday life.
For announcements.
I'm telling Molly.
I know
That
I
I'm a
talked
pile
about
of junk.
I talked
She
about it
knows.
a little bit last week when I did the Toe Jam and Earl game. I talked about a little bit about PAX during, but I figure in the post game we can shop about how PAX Unplugged went for everyone.
Sure.
Oh, we need that story. We gotta hear that story.
It
Oh,
is
so you
stick
definitely-
around for that
not gonna be a
one.
funny
Oh, the chopstick story.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna be that funny, but okay, that's fine.
Oh,
Well,
well.
we have some humorous stories to say that will be weird out of context, but that's
Hey, you
okay.
can tell it now.
No, we'll do that in the after party.
If you want to hear those,
No, but Pat
Hit
wants
up
it
our
to be now
Patreon.
because he's not going to be around for the after party.
And I want it now.
I know, I'm aware. Moving on.
A.G. Wentworth did not pay for
877
this
cash
ad.
now.
not a sponsor. But if you do
Right.
want to sponsor us
could
for
be.
some reason,
Thousands, they'll help you too.
Okay, Nick, did I miss anything in announcements? That's usually the one who calls me on my ish.
No, I don't believe so.
Fantastic.
who do you
All right.
call when your windshield's
Uh,
busted? Tall, giant clouds.
1877 cars.
Oh my
for
God, we're just doing
kids.
this now. This is a good.
Welcome to the podcast, everyone.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, stick around as you guys put unlistenable garbage into their ears. Thank you guys.
Anybody
would
from
be different
Massachusetts
than-
listening is gonna love it though,
Yeah.
It's my chopstick story, and I want it now.
or New England area, I guess.
America runs on Duncan.
Okay, I'm gonna move on with the game that we're playing. All right. So
We're clearly playing a different game.
and I'm gonna not make you guys do the headphones off like I did last time, mostly because I didn't want you to try and deal with the thing, which is why I had you take your headphones off, so you'll be able to hear the saga of Rex for what it is. Super short.
I have a saga.
Shut your mouth.
Okay.
It's the other Rex. Right, last time we started off the episode where I made everyone take the headphones off, as we learned that Rex, in his disguise, I think it was, what was it? Something dumb. Nathaniel the Third. That's what it was. He was
Yes.
done a little bit gussed up, gentlemanly like, which I mean, just thinks he added a mustache and a top hat, but it was fine.
No, it was just a sweater.
A sweater, okay, a nice sweater.
I think it was a sweater and a chain or something like that. I don't really particularly remember.
All right. So I'm so distracted tonight. It's fine. I'll get on there. What happened was, while he was running around asking everyone if they wanted to Nathaniel tasks, he eventually stumbled into a offshoot hallway and found a security room. He encountered for a brief moment, another model of droid or robot that was very much like his model.
Friends.
Yeah, sure, friends. And I think he said something to that effect. Sure. They kind of give him the equivalent of the finger when they have clamp hands, little Ichuta from Star Wars, and scurried off. Rex followed and entered into a security room where two members that we know to be BSU Inquisitors were getting out of BSU armor that was making them kind of commonplace. It was their disguise. Not a great one. Upon seeing Rex, they immediately turned their blasters on him and blasted him into pieces. This is where we left off with Rex.
Are you kidding me?
In the interim, while this was happening and after, the party gambled heavily on specifically Zero having a mano-a-mano match with
Milla made a mint.
okay. Another BSU Inquisitor. This one was Karn, who is a Vesk who was from our villains episodes, which are on YouTube. You can check those out. Karn was the one that ended up getting Jarl Slayer armor in the big finale of that episode, and he did have the Jarl Slayer armor. However, he had to roll basically perfectly to actually hit Zero, which did not happen, and is everything with me. He eventually killed himself with a critical one. We quickly fast forwarded.
The one time he used his hand too, actually.
Yeah, the one time he actually uses the pneumatic fist, he blows his head off. It was fantastic and maddening. Or he had the blade too. So after that, I gave the party a brief time because they all put a heavy amount of money on him, so they all won money. They all had a bit of a trip that I told them to do off screen to go shopping at the casino, and then we fast forwarded to the end where they just walked into the bar, Sans Rex, where they are meeting Zolan, and I'll come back to that. That's basically where we'll pick up the Zolan story. First, I want to quickly see what everyone bought, and then I'll give you guys the what's up with Rex now, and then we'll jump right into the bar. So, for purchases, did anyone have anything that was important to disclose?
A weapon.
Something that's going to make you even more sad.
Sure. Zero, what'd you buy?
A haste circuit, so now I can move another
Yeah,
30
there
feet.
you go. There you go.
Jeez.
You like that haste
understand-
circuit I gave you, huh?
I don't make maps that big anymore.
Or at all.
Well, no, there's a map right now. Shut your mouth. There's a map for tonight. You guys are literally looking at it on Twitch. Get off my back. Although this one did come from one of the Reddit. God damn it! I closed the tab. I'll give credit somewhere else. Maybe I'll forget. Yeah, that's it. So you purchased a haste circuit. Was there anything else, Zero?
I bought another gun.
Even more guns.
Yeah, what is it? So I bought the Elite semi-auto pistol. It's just a step up from what I was using.
Okay. Miller, I know you bought stuff.
Yeah, I bought a single gun. I finally had to update my blue star, or I'm sorry, my red star plasma cannon or something like that. That was like 2d10 damage, and I needed something with a little bit more kick, so I went with the a blue star conqueror, which is 5d10 damage, and with a range of like 100 feet. So overcompensation.
Fair. That's fine. Also, not making maps big enough to worry.
Seeker bought a CD.
Actually, there is a
God,
picture of it too.
mixtape.
It's that green one there. That's what it looks like.
Ooh, nice.
Yep.
Yes, blurry and off screen. Nice.
Yep.
Seeker bought the complete ultimate party collection of the Squeezin' Salmons.
I'm not even noting that down. You can keep that in your own goddamn journal, you bastard.
He's gonna probably use.
Actually, what kind of music is that?
It is let's see. How about let's go with tweed metal.
Tweed metal. I actually quite like that. I feel like I could get behind tweed metal. Is that a real thing?
You've
Justin?
heard of speed metal. Now there's
No,
tweed metal.
I'm googling this. Is tweed metal a
I
thing?
don't think
I want
so.
it. I want it to be a thing. Tweed metal. This is more important than
What if you had to like real life band?
there is metal tweed, but
equivalent.
not tweed metal.
Is there?
Someone,
Dustin, this is serious time. We can't afford these distractions.
All right. Okay.
What happened
So
to a roll 20?
I don't even know what. I mean, I don't know what it would be, but I'm imagining sort of like people dressed in like tweed suits
Oh,
doing
okay.
some kind of like
educational rock.
70s, 70s like educational metal
Oh
rock.
god, it's like Schoolhouse
so
Rock,
good.
but for metal.
Yeah.
please continue quick.
Well, first put roll 20 back up because I don't want to see any more
Oh,
of your Google
oops.
searching. That seems horrifying. We've entered a very dangerous realm, and I do not want to go further.
Boy, howdy diddy.
All right. Moving on. Jesus Christ.
That could have gotten weird.
All right. And Dren, did you buy anything special?
I did not.
Cool.
I was
Alright.
just on the cusp of like being able to afford something that was worth it, but
Instead, you just watched Miller and Zero go spend all of their winnings.
yep.
As Miller hands 2,000
And I'm
credits
the
to
drunk
Seeker.
one.
Yeah. No, I just straight up, I'm like, oh, I got this nice shiny new gun. Here you go, Seeker. Here's 2,000 credits.
Yeah.
All right. Now, to pick up with Rex, this is after basically while you guys were shopping, this is what happened. I'm just going to quickly summarize because I do want to get to this encounter.
Oh, we're gonna fight something?
No, I didn't say that. It starts with Sabernot.
One thing. I don't know
Oh.
why. It doesn't even. Okay.
Sabernot did not want to stay on the ship. He got bored. He's got a lot of people here. This is kind of where he rose to his kingship, I guess. However, he knows that whenever he goes here without some sort of costume, he immediately gets accosted by every goblin on the station. So, by virtue of this, he found a fur rug somewhere and cut a hole simply through it, so it is like a fur poncho, which he struck over his naked self. So now he is just a goblin wearing a furry brown poncho, and he has entered the space station. No one seems to be able to tell because he's wearing clothes, so it seems fine. He gets one of his personal notes on a phone that, a communicator that he does not wear on his wrist, and you guys have never actually seen it. And on this communicator, he gets a note that the Rex unit he has meticulously worked on with the help of others has been disabled. Quickly honing in on its beacon, he finds it entering into a scrap heap where it's going to be very quickly destroyed, smelted down for parts. He picks up all the pieces he can find and, not having any other way to carry them, begins strapping them to himself. Seeing how some of the parts actually fit him pretty well, he strapped it onto himself as if it was a second layer of skin. While doing so, he also thread some of the wires back together. He, as best he could, got Rex activated. So what we see now, walking out of the smelting room on the casino, is Notsob wearing a fur poncho and Rex's weird C-3PO looking head on top of his head, his new arms over his own arms. He has the tread wheels attached to his hip so that they're kind of hanging down, not being used. And the torso parts have made some sort of like kind of carapace body armor kind of thing. So what we have is effectively Notsob inside of Rex, and Rex has been turned on as soon as he strolls into the cantina. Actually, no, he turns on, and then Rex kind of orients Notsob to go to this cantina because he was aware of this meeting taking place. And that is what strolls in behind you guys. I don't have a picture of Notsob in full armor. I just have the lovely Notsob token. So
Sabernot.
you picture Sabernot dressed in fur poncho, dressed in Rex.
Question.
Rex is active and speaking. Patrick, you are in control of Sabernot, sort of, and Rex.
Does Rex still have the Rye mask on?
He never had it on.
I don't know if we were I feel like we weren't wearing the mask for this.
Okay.
version.
Yeah, I got rid of the mask literally every time it got put on Rex.
Yeah, the mask is really not a big sell. So
Okay.
no Rye mask. Patrick, when it comes to control, Rex can exert control due to the musculature that's been kind of threaded around Notzob's body. However, Notzob is not a character you are in control of. So if Notzob doesn't want to do a thing, you may have a contest of wills.
He
Uh,
never wants to do a thing.
you have stumbled upon a very intricate plan here, yes. Now, to pick up where we left off, you are all entering, and Rex, not Sob or not, however you want to do it, just behind you guys, and not that you notice, enter this bar. In front of you is security station staff. It's a noir whom you actually were told to find by one of the pirates, I believe. His name is Garv
Garv
Betterhorn.
Betterthorn.
And off to your left, I've finally given a map. So some of my directions last time were hazy. I'm now going to use this map. Off to your left in the corner, you see that the person you're meeting, the Eoxian, Zolan Gurgretz, is accompanied by one guard, which is I forget the species. It's like a Panthera or Panthran or whatever. It's kind of a weird.
I think it's Patra.
Patra, you're right. It is a female Patra guard who is very well armed. And then off ahead of you guys, there is a bit of a barricade that kind of separates this little alcove you're on. It's kind of like a slightly raised floor for this corner of the bar. But if you go down and through these little double doors, which are again, they're like half doors, you can totally see over them. You'll see that there are people milling about, as well as a bantrid, which is basically a giant floating nose. I'm not lying, thanks Starfinder. That it seems to be emceeing some sort of event. Justin, your character, whatever he's calling himself right now, knows this is the DJ competition. There are several Skittermander manning the bar, and in the far corner of the room, Krellis, the bounty hunter. Otherwise, this area of the casino has been relatively thinned out. Very few patrons are wandering, so while this bar would normally be quite heavily attended, it is not. Is half that map still in shadow? I actually can't tell if that's shadow from the thing or what.
I can't see any
No.
shadow.
You guys can
Well,
see the entire tavern, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Except for what's behind the doors or those windows or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, just outside that, that's the space station.
Looks
That's
like
the casino.
grass.
Yeah, it's a grass exterior, but there's no grass on the casino area. So shut up, Christopher. All right. So you guys have entered. This is what's set up for you. Directly in front of you, you've got the Noir, which is a Minotaur, basically. Guard. You've got your person. Oh, I know Miller immediately rushed with his popcorn over to Zolan. and
Yeah.
grabbed his seat.
Can I redo that scene?
I will allow you to. Yes.
Because I didn't know Garv was right there, because Miller does know Garv. Miller walks in. Now he has a bright new shiny gun on his little holster on his back, because he does have like a lot of equipment, like equipment to help him carry big stuff, because he's a little guy. But he also has a huge bag of popcorn, like obscenely big. He walks in. And he goes, "Oh, hey, Gav, a long time no see. You want some popcorn? I know you're on the job, but hey, I don't see anybody looking. You want a bite?" All right, I'm moving on then. Nice seeing you, bud. You keep at it. I hope you chuck a few more guys out into space. That's a lot of fun. And then he kind of hop skips, like he's really excited for this. He just sits into a chair directly next to Mr. Gurgretz. And he says, "Hey, what's going on? I see you've been waiting for us here. Would you like some popcorn?" "I'm just kidding. I know this stuff will go right through you."
The Noir simply shakes his head and mutters Yosoki under his breath. And Zolan just looks perplexed. His cavernous skull face, his glowing green eyes look at you, shift over to his bodyguard, shift back to you. They shift briefly to Zero, who walks up behind you, also grabs a seat. Dren, Rex, Seeker, what are you up to?
Well, first of all, I
has
like
any-
how you just said, "Hey, I hope you go kill a bunch of guys. I hope you get to kill some more people soon by throwing them out in space."
That's like his thing. That's his thing.
Yeah, that's
I
what he
believe you
does.
saw footage of him doing just that.
Yeah.
Out of character question.
We designed him to do that.
Yeah.
Out of character question. Have I been reacquainted with the people, or they just saw me walk into the room?
No one knows that you're even there. You walked in behind them and they have not acknowledged you yet.
Oh, okay. I'll wait until they see me then.
Yeah.
You're gonna wait the entire
That's a terrible idea.
Dren, he sees Garv, kind of gives him like a quick, one finger gun over to him.
He
It
gives
just
you
a-
one finger back.
Cool. And Dren keeps on walking over to the table, still pointing his finger gun at him.
Teaker goes in. It's Biggles the Chowder in the house. I'm ready to rock this DJ shit. And then he sees everybody else walk over to Gerger. It's like, oh, but I do I have to? I mean, oh, and then just like walks over to kind of join everybody else.
What color is his circuits?
It's deep blue. He's sad. Deep dark navy blue.
There is a giant
Oh,
bag.
hi, Sobernaut and Rex.
So, thank you. I was just gonna say I walk up to everyone and wait for a nod, but there's one. So the combination, the chimera that is Sobernaut and Rex looks over everyone and then raises his hands like so and says, "Behold, I am Cybernaut Rex, king of the Gobos, ruler of sentient technology. I have merged with the one you call Sobernaut, taking his strengths and combining them with mine, making a more perfect being. Bow down before my enhanced doodads. Tremble
Sobernaut begins
before
to
my
bow.
might." Not me, not me.
Sobernaut stops bowing.
I'm just kidding, guys. How is everybody? Something out of my throat.
Whoa, look at you, Sabanad. I'm glad you're putting your engineering skills to good use.
Actually, I'm just kind of stuck on him.
Yeah, it looks like I love your disguise. Is that Rye's old fur rug?
Oh, it better not be.
That was it. That was his shower rug. I'm pretty
Not
sure
his
that was his
shower rug. He had
Oh.
that installed inside of his shower specifically.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Oh,
I don't like that at all.
He likes the moist feeling in the feet.
No slip, right?
No slip.
Except for the
So-
times he did,
Sobernaut
it was a
smells
terrible
it.
idea.
Shrugs.
It,
Hey,
looks, it looks like Yosoki fur.
You know what? Yeah, it does kind of look.
What color was Brawl?
Why would he-
Yeah, I was gonna
Why-
say. Oh, that
Why would
looks
he
like
use
the color
that?
of
He
Brawl.
said it smells bad.
What color was
You can
Brawl?
wash it. Brawl just didn't.
Was he
Gray.
gray?
Yeah.
The fur rug is canonically now gray.
Oh.
It looked brown in the certain set of lighting. Yep. Could I have Rex make a perception check?
Yeah, sure. This is a plus
I rolled a Brawl, so you're gonna
9.
do pretty good.
Roll a thing plus a thing for no reason. Did it not roll?
I don't see anything.
Up 25.
All right. You have noticed that the more exaggerated you are, the more not Sob or Sob or not seems compliant with your antics.
No, it was supposed to be a joke. My next line was going to be just kidding, guys. It's fine. Oh, I did say that line.
You
Yeah.
did say that line, and he got a
Yep.
little bit more droopy as soon as you said it too.
Oh dear.
Mm.
I perceive this and go, but really?
He doesn't perk up per se, but the droop lessens. All right. As you all gather at the table, the Noir off into the background steps through the doors and kind of shuts them. He's there. Again, it's a half door, kind of like the doors you see in a cantina or something. So you can totally see him, but he's got his back to it. So he's kind of giving you guys some coverage. Zolan puts together two spindly hands made of mostly bones and cracks them and says, "It's nice to meet you all in the flesh."
I get it. I stuff a handful of popcorn in my mouth.
For the first time, I get it too.
Sabanat, would you like some popcorn?
Sobernaut doesn't use his hands, but he does open his mouth.
I spend
Feed me, you
a
whelp.
lot of time while Zolan is talking, just tossing popcorn at him.
With
Sobernaut loudly catches it.
Seeker's kind of like looking over at the podium there at the stage. She's kind of like, yeah, yeah.
The first contestant does actually enter the stage, just to add your ire. It's a Vesk who's singing in a deep baritone.
But seriously, no one is concerned about this.
Well,
And-
Dren, you say that, but Dren is kind of looking over at you, a little dumbfounded because he has had a lot to drink.
Par for the course. Par for the course.
Yeah. I mean, Sabinat kind of does his own thing, so I'm not too worried. Yeah.
No question about how this happened. None. None of you have a question.
I just assumed Sabinat wanted to fix you.
Okay, how did it happen? Rex, how did this happen?
I explained the story that I can't possibly reiterate.
There you go. There you go.
Zolan just has his hand on his chin, just waiting, letting his dry, dead fingers tap his dry, dead cheek. Was there something more pressing you wanted to get to? I can.
Ooh, can I go?
Oh,
can I do the I can? I can go do the.
Go ahead,
DJ
Seeker.
thing?
If you want
By
to go
all
DJ,
means.
go ahead, DJ.
I'm just saying this is the second time that a rye-based person was murdered, and seemingly no response. No response. That's fine. That's fine. You'll rue the day you cross my royal anger.
No, I'll just
What is
stay
what is
here.
Sabernat's response to my royal threat?
He grimaces with fangs, which is probably the most emotion you've seen from him. He's trying to play along. It's hard.
Good job.
Does he just do like a little?
Well, the hands are currently controlled by Rex because of the way he threaded them through, unless he really wants to fight it. So he's basically going limp. So he's just limp a lot of it. But for the teeth, he went. But it was like a half-hearted kind of, his goblin face could do a lot more if he really wanted to.
So I kind of missed. I was kind of doing some funky stuff over here. What did happen to Rex? I just assumed Sabernat just dismantled him.
So
No, what I heard was I walked into a room, I got shot
Ooh.
because I saw BSU people.
Yep.
Did I hear that right? And I'm not supposed to see BSU people?
Well, the BSU people didn't want to see you. And if you were to pop out a quick recording of what you saw through a hologram printed,
That sounds great. I'll do
style,
that.
Cool.
Help me, Obi-Wan
It's
Kenobi.
definitely not porn.
They will recognize that it is porn of Torgrad and
Hey, I know that guy.
Torgrad, the Vesk Inquisitor, and
Odysseus.
Say porn?
who was the other one that was there? I forget the. It wasn't.
Dustin did say
teacher vest?
porn, right?
I was teasing.
Nazaran?
No,
I-
it's canon.
I don't think it was Nazaram, was it?
I don't know.
The Schecter is dead.
Yeah.
Karn is dead. Okay, it was Nazaram. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's all we have left. So the Rhypherian and the Vesk, or the remaining Vesk Inquisitors.
I don't know what these words mean.
Yeah, I know that guy. I went to school with him. We all went to school with him.
I didn't.
Except for you, yeah.
Well,
well,
if you
you-
remember, Torgrad also, this would be after the shooting of Rex, tried to get Seeker's attention, and then when you guys locked eyes,
Oh yeah, I
he
remember.
scurried
Oh
away.
yeah, that's the guy that tried to get me to go places, and I was too busy not doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
never
And
take
as soon as I
rides
said
from
hi to him, he took off. He's working for the B. Ooh, that rat bastard, that lizard bastard, worked with the BSU.
Could I have
So, Mr. Gergritz,
everyone at the table roll perception?
Yes.
You got a 30. Oh, nope. I'm sorry. I thought that was mine. 0 got a 30. I got a 16.
Rolled a brawl.
Anyone
20.
who rolled higher than a 10, it was not a difficult roll, can see that Zolan has started gripping the arms of his chairs quite firmly, to the point where there are some indentations forming in the faux wood of the chair.
all right, old man, we'll give you the floor. Go ahead.
I called you all here against my better judgment,
Mhm.
clearly.
Mm-hmm.
In hopes of striking a deal with the forefront of the group that challenges the current reign, those that are on every screen across the Pact worlds as being against Durlith Gerson. Durlith Gerson. There we go, that is it.
Gurlith,
Durlith
Gurlith.
Durlith Gerson. Durlith Gerson.
Say it again.
You
Sounds
could
angry.
say that I have read the white writing on the walls, or you could say I've been humbled after being ousted from my homeworld again. But I am here in front of you now to try and make a deal. I was hoping we could set something up. I wanted to gauge your interest and see where we could go from there. And if someone's clicking something in their microphone, I will find you and I will kill you.
Yeah, Nick.
Nicholas. Do you guys have any response to Zolan?
All right. So you said you were ousted. What do you mean by ousted?
It means to be kicked out forcibly.
That's exactly what I thought.
Thank you, horrifying hybrid. Little rat folk, could you be more specific? Do you mean the first time I was ousted or the second time I was ousted?
I was
couldn't-
ousted once. You guys remember?
I couldn't give a Yosoki's ass about the first time. This current one, you said that you could help us, but if you've been, kicked out from your planet, you no longer have control of your fleet. Am I correct?
Not quite. I still have plenty of control over the dead fleet. That was my home when I was adrift the last time. They are me, and that is all you need to know. I more so meant helping you wasn't going to be a physical manifestation of help. I have information to barter. Maybe I have tips, tricks of the trade, or directions against my one-time compatriot Derleth.
This is the dude that
He runs EOX.
that
or
ran
ran
EOX, right?
Yeah.
This is not to be mistaken with Saltazar, who
Right.
ran the Most Dangerous Game show.
This was his boss's boss.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, I got it. He Saltazar was a mouthpiece. This guy's the director, the CEO.
Correct.
Gotcha. I am simply filled with an unexplainable rage because I am programmed to hate this man immensely and wish but for nothing than to see him dead.
Oh, he's dead though.
I'm already dead. Yes.
That wasn't said out loud.
Not Sob's actually reading it through a script as it's going through, and he's reading it out loud as a little typescript.
Not Sob can't read.
Oh, you're right. Shit.
He should be able to. He has an intelligence score pretty high.
He chooses
Not
to.
Sob chooses. Oh, there we go.
Man, Pat and Dustin just on the same page today.
That's cute. It's really
Years
cute.
of him trying.
Sandwiches. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. I was ousted because the flub with the Most Dangerous Game show, thanks to yours truly, you presented gathered here, made some of my enterprises seem more of a liability. The Eoxian, let's just call them leaders for lack of a better term, but elders, bag of bones, what have you, have made it uncomfortable for my presence to still be there, and in a gentle enough manner that they did not trigger the wrath of the Border Space Union or whatever he's decided to call his little band of savages this time round. Is that
All right.
enough for you, Mr. Rat?
Thank you for catching me up. Now, let's continue. What do you want?
Ah, what I want. There we go. This is what I wanted to hear, of course. I want very simple things, and I'm fairly confident you can all promise them to me. I want immunity under the new regime. Should your little band of rebels manage to take over their larger band of basically rebels, I would, one, as much as possible, have the dead fleet look away. So be aware that's part of the conversation. Not all. And in return, I would want immunity. I want an out-of-the-way moon given over to my governance. And I would like a stipend to live comfortably for my remaining years.
No, comfort is relative, right?
Aren't they immortal?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
remaining.
yes. Both answers are correct.
Now, I mean, it would be, as you well know, it'd be foolish just for me to go, oh, yeah, of course, we could do that for you without some sort of collateral.
Collateral?
Yes.
I have bargaining tools. I'm not sure. Could you elaborate on your collateral?
Well, Currently, your subordinate, Saltazar, he
Yes.
still lives, for lack of a better term. We allow that because we own his phylactery.
You do need to kill him and his phylactery, just so
That's
you are
fine.
aware.
That's fine. Well, collateral could even simply be your phylactery.
Yes. I would rather die 1,000 deaths than give you a tool that could potentially end my existence. But I appreciate where you're coming from.
I
could give
also
you-
would enjoy you dying 1,000 deaths. Why did that sound out loud?
Notsob is smiling. Um,
I
could
poke
give you.
Notsob. Discipline.
He
Discipline.
Poke him.
grimaces. It's his own hand poking, which is the worst part too. Zolan says, I could easily give you Saltazar himself, although I don't see that that's exactly the collateral you're looking for.
Well, so I mean, I consider myself a reasonable man. I don't lie. I don't cheat, and most of all, I'm a businessman of my word. And I can at least promise you that if you turn the other cheek, so to say, or turn the other way during our skirmish with the Ghosts of Fear, I will return your phylactery undamaged, unscathed, and put you on whatever moon you wanted on the far reaches of the galaxy.
Go ahead and give me a roll.
There is a very visible, like, slow head turn from Cybernaut Rex. Just
Can the head even turn?
what?
The head
actually,
is, the head is,
there's two heads, right? There's
yeah, it's head, yeah.
It's a slow swivel, and then Rex feels it and moves in the same direction so as to not appear separate.
So
if
what do you
you're
want?
okay with
Diplomacy?
Yep. Oh, so what was that? Yeah, diplomacy. Yes, please.
All right, this plus 10.
Would that not be?
Fuck's sake.
Don't you mean don't you mean bluff?
No.
No, he's telling the truth.
Yeah, I'm telling the
But
truth.
don't you mean bluff?
No, but I rolled a 2, so a total of 12.
He looks. He says, I respect that maybe you are an astute businessman, but know that bartering with one's literal soul isn't usually something a dignified person does. Now, an Eoxian would never barter with their soul, even if it was their last death they were looking at, because the phylactery is the thing that brings them back.
Mhm.
So I will give you other means. I am willing to open up if you need some sort of collateral. I have mentioned the dead fleet. I could potentially hand you over some command codes to the fleet that you could use as actual insurance on top of collateral.
I'm gonna go ahead and just jump in here. Rex can't control himself. He says, "First, I just want to remind
Notsob
you."
holds up 2 fingers.
Other hand comes over and puts down one.
Yep.
First, I rotate it.
It's
There
a
you
middle
go.
finger for all
First.
you for all you audio people.
I want to remind you that you oversaw an operation planet-wide to enslave both guilty and innocent and torture them to death. So I don't think dignified really encapsulates the concept of you.
I did say and Eoxians. Yes. The dignified and the Eoxians especially. So it doesn't have to be the same.
Oh, okay. Well, still not dignified.
Let me actually, in light of that, that's a good point. The addendum to my first thing was immunity for things known and that will be found. Yes.
So
Thank you for reminding me. I appreciate that.
I would like to counter that. I
What the fuck is this robot I'm talking to?
difficult.
No, please continue.
Do we all just kind of looking at Rex like, why is he talking?
Well, again, this is the programming kicking in.
Everyone else is shrugged as Zolan looks around. Okay, guess we're going with it.
But
He's
you're
very
also
distracted right now.
You're
so he doesn't
also
really
getting
care.
little hints of Ryan here. But again,
not Rye. So
Not Sob.
Cyber, not Rex. So I think, and it is incredibly hard for me to think that this is a fair deal. I think immunity is a bit much. Maybe, oh, what's the
Life sentence.
yeah, I was gonna say what's the term? Maybe we go lenient on the sentencing when we deal with you through our new judicial processes, which whatever they might be. Um, Maybe you get your own. What's the name of that island that they sent Napoleon off to?
Elba.
Elba, thank you. Maybe you get your own Elba, which is totally canonical in this universe, by the way. I'm making that now
Oh, okay. Is
because
it
I just
Elba or
realized
Elba?
I broke
Elba.
I broke
Nailed it.
character to get that historical reference, which doesn't necessarily exist in this one anyway. So maybe we do give you an Elba, but by no means should you be forgiven or made to not realize repercussions.
Well,
Yes.
Rex, Rye, Sabanat, whoever the hell you are, I never said would forgive nor forget.
I wasn't strictly asking for that. I was just looking for some
Immunity is
avoidance
right out.
avoidance of legal troubles. However, if it helped your consciences, I could maybe be convinced to serve a life sentence, but I won't go beyond that.
What can you do about all the innocents on that planet? Because I imagine they're still there, correct?
Which planet?
Where the dangerous game show was.
Oh,
No,
you mean
ba.
my planet.
What do you mean? There are more?
We're definitely gonna find out.
Do you
Well,
not
'cause they all
watch
didn't-
TV?
What's TV?
We actually haven't had much of a chance.
We had the world's best actor on ship. You think we needed a TV?
I actually at that point you hear on almost as if on cue, but totally not, from the pulpit where this little competition is going on. You hear the banterid kind of rise up in its hover chair, and it begins speaking in like a deep nasally voice, and it says, deep bass baritones. We got some nice DJ flair. I am liking this.
Did you
Have
say
I said-
bass baritone?
Oh yeah, bass. He's a nose. He doesn't know what bass is. Give me a bass. Give me some. I think honestly, I think your name is a little on the nose, better than Rye. But if I had to agree with something, it would be your name. I think you're going to make it to the next round better than Rye. And the vest kind of walks off stage and grabs a seat, looking happy with himself.
Oh, I wonder if I would have made it to the next round.
Seeker, go ahead. Go up there.
I'm going. I'm going.
Go up.
You
Big
should-
was the chowder, and just
You should change your
Heads
name
off.
to Assassin of Odashen.
Did somebody just say they were better than Rye?
Oh, and look, we've got a new challenger to the stage. This one was on our guest list. Yeah, Biggles de Chowda, you said it was, right?
oh yeah, you know it.
Biggles, I'm Royce O'Brien.
The Royce O'Brien. The Royce
Oh, he can't
O'Brien.
point.
Oh my God.
He's got wispy tendrils that kind of look like wings hanging from the side of his eyes. He uses them to point at you. The very same. Yes, that is me.
Was he the one that actually interviewed me in the Dangerous Game Show?
No, unrelated. My talk show going by O'Brien. I just wanted to let you know that you will be the last contestant of round one. Please join the stage and give us your best performance. If you need a turntable, we can digitize one for you. And let me see. The only thing that we have not allowed is any in memoriam to Raish Orin. We had some of that in round one early. We quickly shut that down. We like to let the things that should have died be dead for appropriate reasons, as you can understand, I'm sure.
This is hurting my soul.
I don't understand that at all, but okay. I wasn't
So-
planning on doing anything like that in the first place.
As Biggles gets ready to start playing, I kind of like push against Sobernaut Rex a little bit, and I go, "This guy's supposed to be good.
Um,
Zero, did you have something to say to Zolan? I'll give Seeker some rolls in a second.
no, I was gonna, if anything, message Seeker that he should basically play something along the lines of "Thank God Oshen's dead,"
Okay,
because the person who was on before this was a Vesk, correct?
correct.
Can real quick, why does this person hate Rise? Where are we in? We're
Well,
at the casino.
have you not watched his talk show, O'Brien?
No.
Very popular late night.
Very,
Yeah,
very
it's
popular.
a popular late night television series in which a lot of his diatribes, especially lately, have been anti-Rye,
Okay.
possibly being paid by the Border Space Union, but you never know.
Well, I would figure that.
Yeah.
He was one of Rye's biggest critics. We kind of came up with this character in our NPC creation.
Mm-hmm.
stream.
Long time
This
ago.
was actually the first one that we
Yep.
created too.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm assuming they wrote this line by line. The first line was the anti-Rye. So
Yeah.
Oh, this is that guy?
This
Yeah.
is him. He's a
Oh,
giant nose.
You guys are the fucking worst.
I will take in memoriams if you would like for Pyramid Station Alpha, my long lost home. Thanks in large part to that Lashunta bastard. Please.
Literally proven false. You hear from the crowd.
Off in the corner where there's only one table. Yeah. All right, I'm going to give you some roles for performance in a second. Check how you want to do it. Compose yourself. Zolan says, all right, let me tell you what I'm bringing to the table so that maybe we can grease these wheels a little bit better. Do any of you even know why Derlith Gerson has taken over the Pact Worlds?
He's an evil, maniacal, self-centered politician.
Yeah,
No,
your
you're
standard run and
describing-
kill bad guy.
You are describing me, and we couldn't be more different. All right. Now, do you know what his plans are going forward?
Keep being a douche.
That's not far from the truth, but not what I'm talking about, and
Specifically,
not
no.
what I'm offering you, because he had me doing many unscrupulous things with my access to the many contestants on our game shows. Also, I could give you his current location. Admittedly, that can change at the flick of a finger, but I can at least give you his base of operations. I don't think it'll surprise you, but I can confirm. I can give you Saltazar. As penance of his crimes, you can do what you want with him. You will have both body and phylactery. You will determine the length of that being's lifespan. That is what I bring to the table. Oh, and of course, the dead fleet not being any entanglement for you going forward, which, if you did not know this, will hamstring their fleet. After the little debacle with Oda Shen, the Veskarium isn't super kind on sending additional forces into the Pact Worlds.
All right.
I'm not bringing small change to this deal, and the only reason why I'm doing it in this dive is because I happen to trust the management of On the Turn very
Yeah,
much.
me too. He's an old cousin of mine.
That is unfortunate.
You didn't know this place was run by a bunch of Yosoki? Come on, I thought that was common knowledge.
No, Eoxians love Yosoki. Unscrupulous, no morals, no lack care for hygiene whatsoever.
Is it
And
because they smell like they're dead already?
can't smell them, so maybe.
I take offense to that. That was only one guy.
Don't worry, I can't smell. I just have it programmed. Yisoki smell like brawl.
I can't be mad at that in character.
Somebody please fix
You
this
know what?
voice issue.
Let me see if I can grease the wheels a little bit more. He flicks his hands over at his assistant, who hands him a data pad. He snaps. He says, "Brunheld, come on, please." Also, for you, he was motioning to the cat girl, which is just there for Justin's pleasure, I assume.
Wait, what? I'm not listening because I'm over in the DJ thing. What happened?
Right? No, that's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it. You're over in the DJ. thing.
Could you say it again?
I simply said from the cat girl, which I assume is there for Justin's pleasure. He takes the data pad she hands over, and he points at Dren. You are Dren. I can offer to fix whatever's going on with your fur. That's disgusting. And two, because Dren is still slimy. Two, I believe you had a ship that was quite damaged. I could give you a brand new warship. It doesn't have to be Eoxian because I know that's not quite compatible with you fleshy ones, but I could get you a top of the line warship for whatever you wanted. You points at the goblin. I don't know what the hell you are. Moving on. Points to Zero.
I always get the raw end of the deal.
I can offer you whatever androids want. I don't have many notes on you. I've got some kind of esoteric text linking you to the Border Space Union. You can get that scrubbed right out at least if you'd like that. And you, he points very close to the Yusoka who's sitting right next to him on the seat.
Huge cheeks because I have huge cheeks full of popcorn.
You, I believe you're the industrious one. You wanted to, let me see, check my notes, scroll. Make a name for yourself. Well,
a year late and a buck short, apparently.
maybe you've made a name, sure. But how would you like that name broadcast across the stars as head of your own business? I could very easily give you the capital to start up a Packed Worlds exclusive business. Do you want to be in media? It seems to be something you enjoy. Or do you want to be in goods? I could make you rival Blue Star Corporation for at least the Packed Worlds.
You can keep that fancy schmancy lingo
Thank
there.
you.
That sounds like a lot of work. I do not want to be ahead of any sort of corporation. I think that is silly. I just want Gerson deader than you. Dead with no hope of coming back. Is smithereens to smithereens, if you catch my drift.
Your bribery won't work with any of us. I look over at Dren. Most of us, I look over at Zero. Some of us.
Brunhilde, the cat girl, the Patra leans over, taps him on the shoulder, whispers something into his ear, and then Zolan looks and says, points at Sobernaut. Are you Sob? Not Sob? Sobernaut? Apparent king of the goblins? Is that correct?
That's
I
him.
am Sobernaut Rex. Hold on a minute. I am Sobernaut Rex, king of the Gobos, ruler of sentient technology. I have merged with the one that you called Sobernaut, taking his strengths and combining them with... Sorry, I put that on loop.
In response, not Sob/Sobernaut just nods. Your head going wildly.
We gotta fix this.
I could potentially offer you a small planet.
Tries
goblins
cover Sobernaut's ears with his own hands.
Sobernaut mostly lets it happen. He can somewhat hear muffled over you. He shrugs. His response audibly as you go to cover his mouth is, okay. So Zolan says, I'm willing to help your enterprise to free the packed world of this tyranny that has been mostly disguised thanks to my clever handiwork, which you may not respect, but I hope you appreciate someday. And I'm willing to offer you as individuals things. And the android over there, the one that is currently mixing the beats, I had something for him too, but I guess I'll talk to him on the side. Like I said, I'm willing to deal here. I have many resources.
All right.
Of course. Well, we do have to talk among our group here, right?
Yeah.
So let's listen to Biggles to Chowder. I would love to hear what he has to play for us. Besides, I have this huge bag of popcorn.
I whisper over the side. We're totally gonna talk over his performance, right?
You're not gonna listen?
I wasn't planning. Were you?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Biggles to Chowder? He's pretty amazing.
Is that a sandwich?
I don't know how to respond.
I think it'd be more of a soup.
Just so I can be more of a soup.
Biggles to Cheddar.
bids you leave and rests back in his chair, looking very much like a corpse on a wooden throne. The audience, as you walk through, again, it's rather sparse because thoroughfare to this area was truncated, but they seem invested in what they're watching. Even Krellis seems to be at least centered on the stage. And Biggles to Chowder, you have the floor.
All right. So Biggles takes, if they synthesized up a little turntable. Biggles plugs like directly in with his his cords and stuff that he's got in his body, basically, from being, what was that thing that you have anyways? What is that?
A data jack or something like
Yeah,
that?
the data jack. That's what it is. Plugs directly into it.
The noise. O'Brien says, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! We said this was clean for the children.
Yeah, I mean, what?
You're inserting plugs into orifices. I'm not sure what I'm looking at."
This is how I do my music, bro. Come on, just let me do
Give
it.
Biggles a chance. Biggles.
Biggles,
Biggles.
Yeah, that's
Big.
right. You know it.
Flails its little wings wildly. Please continue, but keep it clean.
Oh, it's clean. Oh, it's squeaky clean. All right.
Before he starts, I'd like to assist him with his performance by using ghost sound to kind of amplify the effects, kind of give it a little bit more bass in the every time there's like
I think you mean bass.
give it a little bit
Some
more
bass.
some bassatone. Can I do that?
I mean, you can. So can the sound system that Secret
Yeah,
has direct
it does
control of.
that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but if
But
you
I
would
want
like
I want to amplify it. Mhm.
sure.
You can't get that elsewhere.
Go ahead.
Ghost sound, bam.
I don't think you really need to give me a roll. I'll give a static +2 for whatever rolls you make, Seeker.
All right.
Biggles.
Biggles.
So, out from him, like, hologram starts like expanding around the room, and it's this kind of like wavy purple and pink and blue haze that just kind of like distorting, and it just looks really crazy and psychedelic. Start hearing the super loud monotonous bass, like doom boop boop. There's
How's
this
it go?
beat. There's this beat that's somehow 4 on the floor, but also this kind of spacious, jazzy down tempo somehow. Don't know how that works, but it works. It's a double beat. It's into that, there's this rising string ensemble of phasing kind of volume from different directions. You hear the strings from all different directions, and it's playing something like
It's like
probably in
stereo.
the key of this whole thing is probably like in D major. It's nice and like triumphant and euphoric. And he flips out this CD. It's the Squeezing Salmon. And he puts it on the turntable and starts with it. Starts listening to that.
We
Starts
call
sampling
that
that.
scratching. So,
Yeah. He's starts
Can
sampling
you
that.
scratch a CD?
I'm
Yeah,
not
well,
quite sure that you
no,
can.
you can't. He can. Biggles can. You can't scratch a CD, but Biggles can. He finds a way. He finds a way. He's plugged in right now. He can do it. Right? And so, and that being tweed metal is like, drink your milk, put it on the crunchy crunch, it'll help your bones grow.
I was thinking more high literature educational. when thought
I mean,
tweed,
that's
but
what I was thinking too.
sure,
but
sure, that works too.
He did say it was for kids.
Miller starts headbanging with Phyllis's
Ugh.
tail wildly flailing all over the place.
Zero turns invisible.
Rex.
Dren's all about it. He is older though, so it might not be quite as hip as all the youngins think.
And what's Rexer not doing? Sobernaut Rex.
I just said he wishes that he could go invisible.
Oh, he wishes he could go invisible.
He tries. It doesn't work.
What is Cybernaut doing?
Sobernaut, for his benefit, looks at what Miller's doing and then mimics it. So he's headbanging as well, which means that the Rex hat is also headbanging with it.
Because of his height, would he happen to be hitting the table?
I'm going to allow this. Yes. Yeah. He's not even looking at Seeker. He doesn't care anything about that. He's just looks at me like, yeah. And also, his facial expression is nothing. It's completely neutral.
Ow, 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 ow.
Which actually adds to the beat. Seeker works it in. Another +2 to this performance roll, please.
No good idea.
Seeker starts like recording what people are doing and like sampling that in the thing, so it's like he's playing the show itself.
Got you. Got you. Or he's like mixing it up in OP1. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Now give me a performance check to see how well you do in round 1.
Ooh, like that. Where is my performance right now?
It's right there.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
You found it.
You're welcome.
35.
Oh, and you added the +4.
Oh, +2, +4.
Yeah.
Oh crap.
From me and
All right, so 39.
Sabana.
39.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like there was 5 other competitors. All right. Let me get a quick roll there. Even with +10s on one of them, you have the highest score.
Yeah, that's right.
The bantered O'Brien can't clap, but he does go as if he was clapping because he's a giant nose. Everyone else claps, and you get a standing ovation. And the Skittermander stand on the bar and begin clapping all of their 6 hands together. And yeah, you get a standing ovation for round 1.
Big
Oh, I love that standing O.
Round 2 will take place the following evening, and it'll be a head-to-head. There'll be basically a semifinals head-to-head, and then a final head-to-head. So if we ever get that far, which I have no idea if we will, you have spot in the semifinals. All right. Now, as you rejoin the table and they finally begin to discuss the plan or the deal as offered by Zolan, please continue.
Oh, how refreshing that was!
Yeah, I'm saying.
How did the thing go with the dead guy over there?
Oh, pile of bones and all. Offered us a whole bunch of knickknacks and all that kind of stuff.
He got you a record deal if you want it.
What?
Which you will, of course, be turning down. I forgot I was doing a
Actually,
voice.
record deal is something he could totally do. It's a good call.
Anyways,
He did offer Sabernaut a planet.
he did offer Sovereign a planet, but I mean, anybody can get a planet. That's really not that hard.
There's a lot of them.
That's a ton of them. I know. It's really not the hardest thing in the world. But anyways, he offered to turn the other way while we, give Gerson the boot, so to say, as well as a few other things that I can't remember off the top of my head because I was
here's the reality. He wouldn't be offering this if he weren't aware of, as he called it, the writing on the wall.
Of course.
So he's trying desperately to avoid the inevitable if he doesn't cave. My thought process on this is we don't need to offer him much.
Nope.
Leniency in sentencing, which I don't like. He should be put to death.
I agree. But circumstances
could save us a significant amount of time. He'll never be free again.
Never. And you know what? I mean, even if we hire that one over there and points to Krellis, I mean, I'm sure they could do something about it.
Oh yeah, I mean, like
Krellis is probably already on that payroll.
Seriously, legally, nothing. He can have all the immunity he wants, but I mean, that doesn't stop anybody that can kill him from going and doing so.
Well, he did not offer to give us the phylactery, right? So
yeah, well, I'm talking about his immunity.
Right.
Did clarify he was looking for legal immunity, not moral immunity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Also, isn't that kind of strange that I'm sure with his help, they could probably beat us. But
well, if he were offering,
if he's offering this, then no.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why would he offer if he didn't think that they could beat us
Because
with
they
him
just
on their
lost
side?
a third of their troops
That's
or
true.
more.
Because what happened? What was that? I didn't hear you, Mike.
They just lost a third of their troops or more, whatever the
they took
Beskarian was offering.
They took a large hit from losing the Vesk, and
What happened with the
Oda
Vesk?
Shen was supposed. We killed Oda Shen. Okay, to catch you up, Pat. We killed Oda Shen.
Yeah.
You were there for that one.
They pulled out of the Gerson Sphere.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't fully pulled out. They're mostly not putting anything else in.
Well, it doesn't work unless you fully pull out.
Right. Well, they do make that mistake.
This is a family
Even
show.
then, it doesn't
folks.
always work.
So all I'm saying is that
Dustin.
there are Beskarian soldiers still on
Sure.
the ground. However, they will be gaining no reinforcements, and the conflict has turned a little hazy for them in terms of value.
Now, in terms of at least what our bag of bones over there sees, we snuck into a highly secured party and took out a third with very little effort. I'm sure we put a huge, red flag in his book there. As far as he knows, we have a whole bunch of stuff up our sleeve, which, I mean, truth be told, we have very little. We have the Vermilion Blur and anything that he can offer, and that's about it. But I'm not telling him that. But as far as he knows, we have a lot more up our sleeve. And here we come in brazenly, just openly negotiating with him. I mean, it kind of shows a lot on our part, too.
Oh yeah, being so aloof and distracted was definitely part of the plan. That's I did that on purpose.
Somebody walking around.
It was for me.
I
as
was gonna
stuck.
say I was gonna perception these people.
So we
coming
take
up.
him in. So
As you guys are speaking, a small bug-like creature who you guys would know as, where is this? You guys did not give me the race of this one, you bastards. What's the little bug thing called?
Oh, is it Kua?
Oh
Is
yeah,
that the character?
it's either Kua or
Sheer cat.
Bara is a Han. I don't think that's a Han, is it? Sure.
That doesn't look like a Han.
I didn't think so. Let me take a quick look through the Google. Starfinder Han. Nope, you're right. That is it. Sure, it's a Han is the species. It's a little bug. It stands about, I think, waist high. It's probably Yosoki high. It's got like large mandibles like out the side. It wears a blue helmet and has like blue tactical vest. And as it walks up, it offers it's like kind of gross looking bug hand. I'm being prejudiced. Seeker, and he says, "I loved your show, Biggles to Chowda."
That's it's always great to hear from fans. I'm so happy you had fun. It was fun being up there. I love being here.
He's
this is great.
offering autographs for 5 credits.
I shake his hand.
I would love an autograph for 5 credits.
What?
Autograph 5 credits?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There you go. What do you got? What do you got to sign?
He opens up his vest. It's carapace, guys. Calm down. It's bug carapace.
Okay, yeah. Let me get a pen. I need a pen or something. How do you sign on? Like, I don't usually have to do this. This is the first time. Oh my god, it's so cool.
Do you have a knife?
Zero pulls out a knife.
Holding the knife. Yes.
Just gentle, right in there, bud.
All right.
But I need like the whole name too, like
Biggles.
Okay,
Dick
yeah.
Chowder with both R's. There's 2
Yep.
R's in there. The first one's silent.
Okay.
And yeah, there you go, bud.
A little bit of ichor pops out of like where you kind of flourished it and stabbed him a little bit too hard, and he walks away beaming. Could I have everyone make perception checks?
Oh boy.
Somebody done
31.
35.
Thanks, Mike. I finally rolled nice.
10.
24.
24.
Did anyone roll higher than a 37?
What?
No.
Wow.
Fantastic.
That would have been a nat
Jeepers.
20 for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they rolled high and they have a high stat, but it's an 8th level character, but it's okay. Okay. Then nope, you know nothing out of the order other than that was quite a weird signing that just happened. All right.
Sure was.
So he retreats back to the table and he listens to O'Brien go on. It
So-
seems like he's gotten onto another anti-Rye tirade.
So as I was saying, my suggestion is that we take him into custody. We offer what leniency we can with how we treat him going forward, but there is absolutely no way that he'll ever be free again. That he immediately stand his troops down. Did he say that was part of it? That
Basically, he's got to look away.
That he's gonna look away.
Yeah, because he controls the entire Eoxian fleet.
So that the Eoxian fleet turn away, just stop, cease. Basically, we're looking for a surrender.
Mm-hmm.
So,
how
well,
are
I'll
we
let you
going
guys
to-
figure it out. You can bring this to Zolan after.
How are we going to contain him, though? I mean, like, yeah, he'll agree to it, but he could probably easily just leave. I mean,
Does he have? Yeah. Does he have the ability? Do we have the ability to contain him?
Well, we could just maroon him on a planet at his own suggestion and just leave him there, and that will be both his leniency and punishment.
Not true, because anyone can land and take him back.
Well, it would be, out of the way somewhere, not in the Pact Worlds.
So if you want the real deets, roll me some lore checks or whatever the checks that would give you more information on an Eoxian, which I'm gonna check and see.
Life
Holy crap!
science.
It would have been
Life
nice to have
science.
Rye.
Life science, yeah.
Life
that makes sense.
science? All right. That's plus 18.
I would imagine. I mean, it could be something
34,
different for
32.
I can't touch a 32.
All right, 32 is enough for me.
I got 31. So
Miller,
Best I can do is 23.
you guys both know the technical aspects of this. Without having a Lich's phylactery, it's immensely difficult to hold them because even if you were to maroon them on the most out-of-the-way planet and completely naked without any equipment,
He
as long
just
as they
offs
could-
himself and comes
as
back
long
a
as they
couple
could
days
reliably
later.
kill themselves, it's like it's like a D4 number of days, and then they're back
Yeah.
with their phylactery. The reason why Saltazar is captured right now is because you have his phylactery. So if he was to off himself, he would not wind up in a better location. Now that being said, Saltazar you did see was chained like spread eagle against a wall. That would probably hold him for a little while. So there may be ways to maintain a lich, but it is going to be a extremely challenging endeavor. That is not to say you cannot do it, but just be mindful that this isn't as much as marooning or putting into a nice cell. It is you have to be aggressively binding them.
anti-magic too. We need.
There would need to be some anti-magic.
And we got that collar over there.
That exists. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the collar.
I was
Yep.
just gonna say, what about the collar? Yeah.
I mean, law enforcement has ways to deal with magical beings, so you would just have some sort of law enforcement agent help you out. It'd be fine.
I mean, he would just have to agree to bring his phylactery with him.
Which he will
And
not.
he's
do.
not. He's not going to.
Well, I'm not suggesting he'd give it to us to bring it with him. He would keep it himself.
No, he legitimately will not. Just so you know, you are asking someone to say, "Hey, here's my kill switch."
Mhm.
He's not giving it to anyone.
No, he wasn't supposed to give it to anyone.
Yeah, but if he's under your jurisdiction, he's giving it to you by virtue of him owning it while you own him. It will literally never happen.
And
Oh,
how
you
can
mean
we be
maroon
sure
you
that
on a
he's not
planet?
gonna...
He wouldn't put it in the same spot.
Hmm.
This being has been alive for thousands of years. They're not about to end that for some upstarts.
Right.
I had a choice. If you had passed a DC 30 diplomacy check when you asked, I would
Oh,
have
that would have
allowed
been
it.
a nat 20. Damn.
I have it on there as a DC 30. He'll negotiate, but in terms of this, with that being failed, again, killing this character requires you to find his thing.
Right.
Now, I don't want to give you any GM ideas, but assume that that's not going to work without outside help, and deal with this deal without that as an option. Go with that. Again, you can potentially bind him. It's
All right.
it's going to be hard to
So-
stick.
So let's break this down to make it a little easier for us. First off, I guess you guys want this Saltazar. Is that I don't know.
I don't
Saltazar,
know
but-
why we would want Saltazar, other than to kill him for our own personal vendettas. But like,
yeah, do you want to kill him?
I
for
don't
personal
really
vendettas
care.
seeking?
I have his coat. I don't care.
All right.
He is responsible for the death of Shirket and many innocent people. Just
I'm-
saying.
I don't know who Shirket is.
Shirket chose to die on her own.
All right, think of this as
Like she didn't actually die because of him. She died because of her
She
own enemy.
sacrificed herself.
yeah, but he killed a bunch of innocent people. Think about
Yeah, he's
it like
bad.
the end of
Yeah,
World
he
War
killed a
II.
bunch of
We're
innocent
trying
people.
to negotiate a surrender to end the war.
Well,
We'll
you're talking to
also
the wrong
have-
person for that. This guy has no control over the actual bigger politics. He has the fleet. He had Eox. He doesn't have Eox anymore. Eox was media. He was the media guy. You're talking to the head of media for the Triumvirate.
All right.
Right. No, what I'm saying is, with regards to, they were saying we don't want Saltazar. That's not entirely true,
Gotcha.
because afterwards you want to clean up the things what need cleaning. In this case, we don't have the ability right now, right this second, to do much to this guy. So it's advantageous to
Bring him along.
figure out I don't want to say bring. I don't want it to look like we're being like chummy with the guy, but at the
Oh, we're
same,
not. I made that abundantly clear.
Well,
but we want. My opinion is I want to seek a surrender from this guy, which nets the has the fleet leave the war. I'm not looking to
Yep,
destroy the entire Eoxian.
on the table. That's on the table, right, Dustin? That's
Again, leave is too strong a word. He's trying to help you without looking like he's helping you. So when you show up for a big fleet engagement and the Oxians just don't show up, that works for him. His fleet leaving system or surrendering to you does not work for him.
Well, no, if his fleet tells the Triumvirate or what's left of it, we're done. We're out. This is no longer in our interests.
That is not what he has offered to you. Again,
Well,
that's
no,
not to say
you're
you can't go back for it.
You're
But
talking about showing up, or not showing up for a battle.
We're preparing for the final showdown.
Sorry, new
He's
phone.
not
Who
going-
dis?
yeah.
Again, there's difference between him betraying and like just kind of
Ignoring.
betraying. He's looking
They
for a
left the spam
small
filter on?
betrayal. Just in case you guys lose, he wants plausible deniability.
Gotcha.
Well, I
Okay.
honestly don't think we want Saltazar because we already have his phylactery. If we can't kill him in person with the at
That's
the
a
same
minor
time as the
benefit.
phylactery, that's
Yeah.
yeah, it's whatever. It's not a big
Not
deal.
Not Saab pulls on
Um,
Miller's sleeve.
Pulls on whose sleeve?
Miller's sleeve.
yes, Sabanat.
Who do you think would be good at finding these phylactery things?
Hmm.
Probably Krellis.
Oh, not another dude who has one?
Not another dude who has one. Do you know,
Ah,
do you,
well,
do you know
Salazar.
someone?
He's
oh,
talking about Salazar.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah, Saltazar might know where his phylactery is. I mean,
Or he'd be willing to go and find it in return for his own.
He eats some of your popcorn and turns away from the conversation.
I like that idea. So yeah, we'll keep Saltazar. We'll have the Oxian, the dead fleet, turn a blind eye when we make our move, and then we'll maroon him on some desert planet off in another galaxy. Does that sound good?
I guess I'm
Is
still
it worth
just trying to
marooning
figure
him
out.
if he can just kill himself and reappear at his phylactery?
It's whatever. I mean,
And what's to stop him from betraying us, though? I mean, like, I
And
don't
to be honest,
know if
the whole marooning him thing might not matter too much
Well, he
because we do
did.
need him to keep up appearances.
He did
Wait.
mention that
It would
he'd
be
give us
after.
the codes, the self-destruct code, so to say, to
Not
his ship.
self-destruct. Although
What is
I
it?
guess used poorly could lead to that, but they're not quite self-destruct.
Would you
They're
say?
command codes. More so, you'd
Uh,
be able to issue commands to the fleet. They
So
are still
we-
followed by living creatures,
Sure.
but yeah. So again, self-destruct probably a little much, but
Mhm.
enough where you would be able to neuter them if they came against you.
Sure. All right. So we'll get
Would
the command
would the
codes.
command codes allow us to say, instead of the fleet not showing up, we just automate the fleet? They show up and turn on the Triumvirate.
Well, again, he would
Yeah, he's
have
not gonna
issued
turn.
he would issued orders to the captains to not do certain things. Again, firing on each other is a bad idea.
Hmm.
Firing against the triumvirate's a bad idea. They're looking for neutral ground. Again, you guys are a small upstart rebellion who has happened to kill 1/3 of the leadership. He's mostly negotiating with you guys as a insurance policy.
So, I guess what I'm having a hard time as a player understanding is if he doesn't show up to a battle, how is that not a major thing?
He's the master of misdirection. Let him deal with that.
Right.
He's basically
That's
saying
not
he
our
has
problem.
he has
And
that under.
his-
He's got a plan on his own that will handle why his
Right.
fleet didn't show.
He's
And-
several thousand years old. I'm sure he has backup plans for backup plans. He's really, really not concerned about us.
It's like
More
dealing with
concerned-
Varys.
It's
He
more
was-
like
he's willing
he's
to give
more
you a life
concerned about his
sentence.
comfort.
He doesn't care about it. He was willing to give you a
Yeah.
life sentence without even really batting and
Right.
non-eyelid. He just
Right.
does not care.
Okay.
Because
So-
eventually, whatever group of people are in control will forget that he's under a life
Exactly.
sentence.
Well, a life sentence would have been something he negotiated a little more firmly with you or after you, saying life sentence is however many lifespans of you have to determine legally. It's not like even life sentences now aren't until someone's dead. A life sentence now is 20
It's like
years.
I thought it was 70 years.
Oh, I thought it was 20 years. Am I wrong?
It's 20. You're talking about the idea of 20 to life.
Oh, 20 to life. Sorry. My bad. I don't know what the difference is. Either way, the idea is a life sentence for a human today on Earth isn't actually till they die.
Right.
So that's what he's more expecting is a life sentence will be a long time, and it could be a very long time because there are long-lived species. But even then, eventually he'd be free, and that's really enough for him. If you
And if
guys
he gets-
talk to him more about some things, you could learn as to why he's willing to do certain things, and that might
Right.
help you. But you haven't greased his wheels, or you haven't tried any diplomacy about that. You haven't tried to learn more about him yet.
I
Feel
have
free to do
lost
so.
my
Yeah, I
ability
think-
to be diplomatic, which is really unfortunate. The best I can do is be intimidating, and I don't think that's the way to go with this guy.
I think
I
it
can
would
actually
benefit
help
us
because
to
I
figure
took
out.
the skill.
What are you saying, Justin?
I think it would benefit us to figure out exactly why he's interested in betraying the Border Space Union.
Well, didn't he already
Comfort.
say it's because
He
Comfort.
thinks we can win.
he thinks we
Well,
can win?
You could get more
Gotta be
information. Though.
more.
Seeker's not wrong. He gave you light stuff.
Sure.
Okay.
And also, I mean, I'm still on the Saltazar thing. I don't know, why does he care? If he's collateral, why does he care? Does he want Saltazar? for
Well,
some
as
reason?
Sabernot brought up, he might know where his phylactery is.
Yeah, but I just don't think that that's enough to guarantee him
And-
from really not
He-
going and betraying us.
and
Is what I'm
He said it was
saying.
bad collateral, as he said it. He
Yes.
did say this is
Okay.
not good collateral. The better collateral were the fleet command codes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we do overturn Gerson and we get control of this system here, we can use it as a publicity stunt. Turn it into our own game show, so to say.
So,
Hmm.
how about we find out what we can find out about why he's willing to
Yep.
help us? We take both the command codes and Saltazar. We
Mhm.
immediately get to work trying to flip Saltazar to figure out where this dude's phylactery is and try our best not to let it get back to him that we're doing that. We operate under the auspices of being honest, but screw this guy. And we give him not immunity, but a life
Life
sentence.
sentence.
And then we find some manner to enforce that while we search for his phylactery. Once we have the phylactery, we just hold on to it. Let him think that he has just a life sentence.
Mhm.
He doesn't need to know that we have it once we have it if he's being good about his sentence. And then the one day that he decides he's not gonna crack the phylactery, crack the old bony guy.
Yep, that's it. All right.
Right.
I think.
But somebody else is gonna have to get that information out of him because I'm basically useless without being the real Rye.
Hey, me
Yes.
too.
I am
I'm not the
even
real
less
Rye
useful
either.
than when I was Rye.
You're actually a lot more useful in combat.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So you
I mean,
reconvene at the table with Zolan.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So as you return, Zolan looks at Seeker and says, "Passable."
Passable? I just won that round. I'm going to the next round. What are you talking about, passable? What do
Do
you
we
know
have to
about
sit
media?
through that next round?
I have made it so that you did not have to.
Oh,
As your GM, I've
I'm
given
willing to
you
forgive you
this
now.
all right. Zolan says, I assume you've come to some sort of agreement amongst yourselves?
Yes, we have 3 conditions. We want the command codes to your ship,
To your
fleet.
sheep.
Yeah, your fleet.
I'm comfortable with this. No,
Uh,
that they will not do some things. However, it will look like a command issued from me. So as long as it is plausible that I would issue it, they will do it.
I
This is
poke
useful.
Chris
And I'm
Miller.
sure you mean
opposed to
Miller.
Miller. No, I poke Chris to remind Chris we want to find out why he's willing to help, because that might be a thing to establish
sure.
before giving. There we go. Okay, continue.
Yeah. All right. So rewind a little.
Sure.
We have a couple conditions. Yeah, we want the command codes, right? Is that what we call them? Fleet codes.
Command codes, fleet
Command
codes.
codes for the fleet. We are going to need you to serve a life sentence. To appease the masses. We are going to want Saltazar.
All things I am happy to give you.
We're also going to want more information from you.
Well, I'm offering information already freely with my conditions met, so what would you like to know?
Go ahead, Sabanat. Rex.
Well,
Mobile.
I meant the reason I was taking a step back is because I'm not exactly.
He doesn't have a charisma score.
I don't have the
to-
charisma
Well, I
score
mean,
to.
he's given information freely.
Well,
right.
Patrick is correct. Freely is going to hit a wall at a certain
Gotcha.
point.
All right. So what information do we want again? We
We want to know.
As to why he thinks we're going to win.
Yeah.
Well, or why
Yeah.
he's willing
Why he's
to
willing to
Right,
help
okay.
us so
help.
much.
So first off, we want to know what's your plan here? Why helping us to begin with?
And here's a Diplo roll, because you
All right.
may get it, you may not.
All right, this plus 10. For frig's sake, why can I not roll?
Anybody
higher
got a
than 5?
reroll? Any subscribers? I know someone just subscribed.
Oh, well, thanks for subscribing, someone. I don't have that
Today.
pop-up. Or do I have that pop-up? No, I don't have that pop-up.
All
You got an
right.
emote thanks to SL Ray's subscription.
Yeah, all right, cool. I got a reroll. All right, let's do it again. 15, so 25. Much better.
25.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, let me see how willing he is to chat with you. More than enough. All right. Let me give you a very short version of a very long lifespan. I was around before Eox existed, and I was around when the Diaspora was still 2 planets. I have lived through the gap. Not that I remember a god's damned thing, but I lived through it. This pittance I gambled on. I thought that maybe I could turn around a reversal of fates that was done me wrong when I was exiled from Eox the first time. And it turns out that so far I've lost the one jewel that I wanted out of this arrangement with the Triumvirate. I'm ready, more than willing, to let this all descend into chaos, i.e., you folks, lovely folks in charge, serve a life sentence or have some small out of the way place while the universe resets itself and I come back as if nothing ever happened. I was hoping for immunity because it would be easier to do this without a record, but if I have to wait out your entire government killing itself, I theoretically could do that as well. I literally do not die unless I make a boneheaded mistake. I do not make
Bonehead. You
boneheaded
boneheaded, you guys. That's
mistakes.
pretty good.
Thank you, Biggles / Seeker / whatever.
Now, you also mentioned a gem.
At Prime.
What were you originally looking for here?
The gem was my planet, Eox. I'm partial to it, and the thrill of having dominion over the other Elebrians and Eoxians gives me what you would call arousal. Mind
Oh,
I don't
gross.
have the right parts for that, but it is my fetish, as you say.
Oh, a different
Boner.
kind of bonehead.
Yes, sure. I'm not going to be able to pull that off. It has been now twice that I've been stricken from this place. I shall wait and come back
So,
on my own
yeah,
terms.
great, great segue. How'd you get thrown out the first time?
I tried a coup and turned the fleet as what I had against the current established leadership, which is a council of bones. And I did not succeed. So I and the rest of the fleet that joined me were exiled.
Sounds like politics ain't your thing, pal.
You have hit upon a good point. Politics is not my thing. I was hoping I could get the Gerson fellow to maybe do the politics. He did get me reestablished on Eox, which he met his end of the deal, and I had no caveats for if I was forcibly removed from Eox, so he has still kept his end of the deal, but he is no longer useful to me. However, just so we are entirely clear, I do assume you will all die painful, permanent deaths
Oh, yeah,
during this
probably.
rebellion.
You
I'm
will be
not
a
giving you anything, or at least I'm attempting not to, that I could not distance myself from, and at least still benefit from what small modicum of power I enjoy under the new Gerson sphere. I
Uh,
can't lose, is what I'm saying, so please use my
we
information
yeah,
as much
we
as you
totally
can.
got that. It sounds like you've been around since the universe or something. I don't even know. I can't
Not
even fathom
quite.
that much time. That's a lot of time. Was there anything else that we need to ask him?
Yeah, just how do we know that you're not going to betray us? I know we're going to have the collateral, but is the collateral really, does that really mean that much to you?
My fleet My fleet is legitimately the only possession I have held on to during both exiles. It is my source of power. It is my source of funding, if such menial words mean anything to you. And it is currently the only tool I have in my toolbox that helps Gerson.
But you're
You're
not
speaking like a
really,
real captain.
you, you're not really like giving it to us though. That's not, you're just giving us codes to maybe tell them, hey, don't do this thing or whatever. You're not giving them to us. We don't have them, you know.
If you don't
You can
like the
still you
deal,
can
I'm
still give
happy
them
to
just
leave.
as many orders as you want. How do we know that you're not going to just turn on us in the middle of battle, because it would work for you?
No, it would work much better if you killed Gerson. So if I turn on you, you're already dead.
Is
Trust
there a
me.
reason why you can't kill Gerson?
There are some. Yes.
Well, why don't you just take your super awesome fleet and go kill Gerson yourself?
I
Why
just
do you
love
have
this
to have us
idea
do
of Seeker just, "Oh, why don't you do it?"
Have you
it?
seen what happens to a fleet when it engages with the Border Space Union's mechanical monsters?
I don't know if I have.
You did actually at the end
Oh,
of
did
Crystal,
we?
sort
Okay.
of.
All right.
Uh, the tools he's been mass producing using the resources of this lovely set of worlds that we call the Pact Worlds has grown staggeringly large, much larger than any he controlled when he was at the fringes of space. Uh, our fleet, while wide ranging and able to police many more areas, would not stand up even a second in a head to head battle. He's designed the things specifically to dismantle fleets.
All right. So you want Gerson dead?
But you
Great.
think we can do it?
Removed, dead, out of the way.
I want him dead.
And I don't care if you do it or not. I'm just going to give you some tools that I can
Mm-hmm.
not be involved with after.
So
What
you
can you
think
tell
we can
us?
do it, but your fleet can't?
Yes, you already killed Oda Shen.
Oh, that had nothing to do with fleets. That had nothing to
Yeah.
do with starships
No
whatsoever.
shit.
Which is
so
why
was
his fleet
the
isn't going to be
robot.
useful here.
Can somebody shake the android?
I have a fleet. You have whatever you have going for you. Maybe you haven't made this connection. If I had what you had, I certainly wouldn't be in this establishment.
Damn good looks, actually, probably, is what Rye would say.
No, they those looks burned away.
Ow.
Yeah. Anyways, so what kind of information can you give us on Gerson?
Right. I need to shake someone's hand to make this official. Which of you is considered the leader now?
Before anybody else does something, I already roll up my sleeve and offer my slimy hand.
I refuse to touch that. Also, I've had dealings with you through others. You're not who I'm talking to. It's between one of these three, and he excludes Rex in his pointing as well.
All right.
I was just about to say, clearly he's talking about the king.
Yeah, so he shakes hands with Miller. The stupid spit ritual is not as offensive. He shakes, and he says, "Pirate, if you would like to shake separate from the group, just in case that's how you feel, I'm happy to accept."
I offer my hand to Seeker.
Seeker shakes
Out of
it.
character,
Yeah.
bold
there we go.
prediction. Out of character, bold prediction. This is a setup. We're seeing talking with the enemy in cahoots. Just my out of character guess here.
Hi,
Or
Molly.
magic
What did you say,
shenanigans.
Dustin?
Nothing.
Molly keeps walking in the
Oh.
background.
This is the first time I saw her because he was talking while she walked in because my little camera's up in the corner.
It's been like 10 times.
I've only seen the one. That's
You've
not
been
my.
like 10 times.
That's not the prediction I would go for. No.
No, I would go with the magic shenanigans. You know, some pact that's just made. Sort of like the one Nick made.
I also wouldn't shake his hand after a shake, because that's weird that he wouldn't shake Dren's hand before, but now he would.
He said why. He clearly said why. I will now shake your hand if you feel yourself separate from the
okay.
group.
Oh,
He's
okay.
spreading bullshit at the table with you.
Yeah.
Dren, do you shake his hand?
He didn't want it the first time.
I shook your hand. That's good enough.
Oh, you okay?
What? Wait, you're shaking on what, the deal that just was struck?
Yep.
Oh,
Separate from you, if that happens to be the case. Again, he's
I don't
basically
know what you
letting
mean by
Dren
separate.
sell himself as I'm not part of the group or I am part of the group. That's it.
oh, I thought you were talking to me.
No, he doesn't give a shit about your robot.
Seeker looks at the hand all covered in goo. He's like, starts like kind of playing with it.
And Saber, not Rex, whatever you're going by now. Hit me up after all this, and I'll find you that lovely out of the way planet for your goblin folk.
I'm assuming out of. Oh, I'm sorry. I just totally interrupted.
Wait, didn't you say you had something for me?
I thought. I thought
didn't-
you were asking Nick a question, so I interrupted.
No, he was talking specifically to you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, the
Saber.
half of you that you don't control.
Miller kind of looks over at Sabernot and says, "Look, you're able to make your own decision, but you know I got you.
You got me a planet?
Again,
I think his planet will be better.
if that's what you want to think."
No.
What
He
was
doesn't
it?
shake
Here,
his hand.
have some popcorn.
Thank you.
Didn't you say you had something for me as I walked away? Earlier?
Well, I have many things I could offer, but for you in particular, Seeker, my understanding is you had an operation done many moons ago that maybe didn't work so well. I could help you fix that in whatever direction you'd like.
No, I'm good. I'm on my own thing here.
So
Fine.
I'm assuming we out of character, because it doesn't need to be done on camera. We negotiate a way for him to turn himself in. I would figure with the help of those magic proof restriction things that we have, the weird kinky shit that we picked up.
Again, this will be after everything, so he would have to voluntarily turn himself in, is kind of what you're looking for.
Well, that was part of the deal, right? In order for
yes,
him to be
yep.
a life sentence, we have to take custodianship over him.
Correct, but not today. No.
Right.
Why not?
Because
today?
if it happens
he's
today, they're going to be
still
like, well, that's weird.
Still the head of the Eoxian fleet
Yeah,
as far as anyone's concerned. He's not an
You
Eox.
can telecommute.
Right.
No, I
he
mean,
says-
but we work out a deal.
Yeah, he pulls off the tip of his pinky and he offers it to Miller.
I take it.
You can
I
use
believe
that.
that this is where my original programmer would go. Huh?
That will allow you to summon my corporeal form so that I may serve time as you want. I do not recommend using it more than once. It is quite brittle and old. This body has served me well. But when this is all said and done, you will have access to summon me once. No, before you get any ideas, summoning me and killing me does not kill me forever. It
Right.
just annoys me. We understand this.
We understand.
There you go. You now have tools.
All right.
That is a form of collateral that no other being has, just so you are aware.
Excellent.
Okay, now that's good collateral.
So you were saying about Gerson?
Right, location. He has made the remains of Absalom Station his base of operations. The reason for this is the access to the Nexus, those gates that the police force used, that where they could go from any planet connected. So that is where he resides, and that is where he is out of. Know that it would be quite difficult. You would need to either close down the Nexus or catch him very unawares in order to actually defeat him there or get him somewhere else, just so you have that information. But I do not know how much you know about the current status of Absalom Station. It is mostly destroyed after the Pyramid Station Alpha incident, but the Nexus is still operational. I forget what the police force is, like the Star Knights or some ish. There's actually like a nexus of portals that exists in the Absalom Station in canon, and they use them to quickly travel between planets in the Pact Worlds. This is a thing that exists. Um, uh, Now, as to why he took over the Pact Worlds, I'm sure it was megalomania or greed or some other nonsense fueling this. But apparently, during his time as the military leader of the Border Space Union, he received intel of, and please understand that I'm telling you as I've heard it. This is hearsay and I think paranoid bullshit, but it served my purposes. There is a greater darkness coming from the void that will sweep over all civilized planets, border space, packed worlds, what have you. And he is trying to single handedly create a defense. I believe that is why he is absolutely strip mining your homeworld. He gestures at Miller, which was already barren as it was.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
And he's got different pockets on all of the resource rich planets that are secretly just taking as much as they can material wise. He has factories, little pop up factories that he's created for his mechanicals, his mechs. And apparently, he feels that they will be the answer for what's coming. Now, he hasn't gone into much more detail than that because honestly, between Odishen and myself, we didn't care. With the Veskarium's interest in the Pact Worlds being well known and established, and me being me, uh, he had really the couple of figureheads he needed to get the little revolution he had started. And when he used your pistol catastrophe as a accelerant, he also got the political upper hand. It helped that he killed almost all the other politicians with those targeted strikes, though.
Usually does.
Um, yeah, the timing was intentional with a council meeting when the Absalom station was struck. Most planets lost their representatives, and the governing council was almost to a person wiped out. So him stepping in with a established military force, previous open trade, all the nines, and the backing of a respectable Eoxian, I guess, and Oda Shen, who is actually or was pardon, was respected very much in the Veskarium. It was a 1-2 punch that he had lined up and been working on for decades, as far as I can tell. Of course, I don't know how old he was, so maybe that's just the ageism in me talking. Um, I haven't heard anything more about this darkness from beyond. So again, the hearsay may just be he's a megalomaniac or deeply paranoid, but that's the information. And why he has the packed worlds, in case you weren't really clear on that, was mostly for the material resources. He has a veritable army of mechanicals now. And I believe he's working on planet side versions as well. I know there's been some issues with the big ones, but I think he's just straight up converted to making an automated army, robots, if you would, to accompany or maybe support the other ground troops he had from the Viscarium.
Out of character, have we seen any of these?
No, this is new. It hasn't come up yet, and honestly, very likely if you don't follow the path I expect you to, or rather, if you do follow the path I expect you to, you won't even really encounter them. But he's got mechanical enemies that will in some way reflect the mecha, just on a much smaller scale.
So, in summary, he thinks that there's going to be an otherworldly catastrophe. Therefore, he overthrew the existing government in order to strip all of the planets of their resources to build a giant mecha army to fight this unknown enemy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, when you say otherworldly, I assume it comes from another world, yes. But basically, yes.
I mean, we
Actually,
have
no.
run into a
Dude.
bunch of kind of weird stuff out there. Weird spook.
Sure, there are weird things all over the place, but I assume he's paranoid, unless he's expecting the swarm to return. And even then, the mecha wouldn't be much better against them, I guess. It would really stymie their fleet, maybe. But my understanding was he wants his little mechanical soldiers to be able to defend not just the Pact Worlds. And the Pact Worlds, I don't know if you knew this, only really cared about the Pact Worlds prior. He's much more forward thinking. The border space, the vast, as we call it when we're not negotiating with Gerson, has a lot of civilized planets that he has shored up their defenses immensely. Honestly, any sort of hostile takeover now would have to go through him. He's been successful, at least in that. It's a dictatorship half of you don't know you're living in yet, but you'll feel it soon enough. It's only been what? 2 years since he took over? Is that it? Is that it?
Yeah.
Were we at 2
Yep.
years?
Yep.
It's been 2 years. Pretty soon, you or your peoples, or maybe not your peoples. I don't know what you care about these pact worlds. Honestly, I don't know why you care about anything at all. But the peoples of the pact worlds will begin to feel this drain. The wealth that these peoples have all been afforded will quickly diminish. Not Eox, fortunately. But everywhere else is going to be some dark days, especially once they realize what he's been doing.
So the answer is simple. We kill the Gerson.
That would solve all the problems as far as I'm concerned, and would allow me to back away gracefully from the public stage.
There's not anybody that he has lined up to take his place should something happen to him.
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think he's been able to convince anyone of his paranoid vision.
Has he tried?
I mean, he sold it to us. We just didn't buy in for that reason. He doesn't know that. As far as he's concerned, I freaking love giant robots.
Was
Giant
that
robots. Giant robots.
Dustin comment or
Who knows?
Giant robots. Pretty sweet.
Robot?
The Megas XLR song just starts playing.
I don't know that reference.
All right,
I don't quite value the mechanical soldiers as much as you all, but again, I find war to be only useful some of the time.
Agreed. I'd very much rather build a society rather than take it down. But dire times. Anyways, what else we got? Anybody got anything?
I think that's it.
All right.
I'm dying.
Let me take a quick look through my notes.
Wasn't he offering a bunch of other assistance as far as like financial or giving us stuff?
That's after you succeed.
Yes.
He gives you all individual rewards after you succeed.
Which, to be clear, I do not consider part of negotiation, but rather forfeiture.
I don't know.
That's how my brain looks at it.
Oh yeah.
This is not he's buying.
No, of course.
There's a difference between forfeiture and
what you could do for us now versus later.
Yeah.
I mean more like it's not so much we're striking a deal where like he's paying us and we're doing better. It's more of conditions of a surrender. He's forfeited these things. That's the way my brain is looking at it.
Exactly.
I got you. He obviously thinks of it differently.
Correct.
Yes. He's
looking at this as a business transaction, whereas I'm looking at this as ending a
It's also the
regime.
difference between he's looking at a very big picture where you maybe are not.
Yeah, we
Correct.
don't have the lifespan to look at the big picture.
Actually, your androids do technically, as
Technically,
does
yeah.
Rex with repair.
I don't think that they natively do, because how old is Seeker? 3?
I'm like 3 now.
Yeah.
No, they can
So-
live forever. They choose when they retire.
They
Yeah.
choose usually to retire at about
Yeah.
100 years, but they do canonically exist forever.
That Prime is
I think
older.
I think the scale of picture is a little skewed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Thousands of years versus a few years. But anyways, do we have anything else for her?
I got nothing.
Not from me.
No,
All right.
I don't think so.
Well, command codes and such. Do I just like write these things down? Do you have a button I boop?
He passes over. You know what? He passes you over the data pad he was holding with your information. It only has the information on what he was offering you all. It has the negotiation terms as his assistant was writing them, his bodyguard more so. And it also has the codes. It also has access to a storage container at the casino that that currently houses Saltazar.
I give both the finger and all that to 0.
I wasn't looking at the camera when I heard you say I give the finger. I'm like, well, that's a great way to end a negotiation.
Well, I'm surprised. Miller's actually been a lot more
Fuck
tame
you.
than anticipated. All right, so since we've struck this accord, I will depart. I wish you all the best of luck, and if you see there is some unobtrusive help, Solan Gurgarets can get you. Please F off and die. Very well. And he exits the establishment
Likewise.
with his
Oh,
bodyguard.
damn. I could have asked what was the deal with the little bug thing that.
That your perception check failed to register?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't allow it. That's
Yeah.
metagaming, and metagaming is sin.
You mean we didn't see the sleight of hand where he put something under the table?
You did not see any of the sort. All he got was a lovely signature from his new favorite DJ. What are you guys doing now? We have 3 minutes left, but I want to see what your plan is now. Are you discussing what's going on as a group? Or are you looking to leave?
Agreeing that we don't want to stay for the semifinals.
I wanna
yeah.
start.
But that's
But I was
tomorrow
I'm
anyway,
a
right?
shoe in to win.
Hey, Sika, you know what? Record everything, send it in.
I guess.
They have the Gerson Sphere's funniest home videos.
I think it's about
It could
time
end with
we.
Odyssean's death.
I think it's about time we bounce, huh?
Yeah, probably.
You want to go
I'm
gamble more?
bouncing. What?
I'm actually broke. I got this shiny new gun on my back.
Hey, me
Oh.
too. Pulls up the-
Guys,
can
what about
gamble
Krellis,
as a
though? Hey, look, there goes Krellis. But
And as you guys move to leave, Krellis positions itself in front of the doorway.
Wonderful.
No.
Krellis, for those of you who don't remember,
I
is
remember.
a heavily armored bounty hunter in the vein of, say, Boba Fett on steroids, or if you're familiar with Dirge from the short-lived Star Wars animated cartoon, not the full one. They're just a hulking, walking suit of armor, basically, that has on its hip a large cannon that we have been calling a hand cannon that really puzzles Patrick. I think it was Patrick, anyways.
and my
on one
spell
hip,
gun.
and on the
my
other hand,
caster gun.
an ornate-looking caster gun, which he earned from the last encounter he had. It doesn't have a gender.
With us.
With you specifically. And as you move to leave, Krellis stands itself in front of you and looks at Miller and says, "Pretty sure I killed you."
Pretty sure I was dead. I died once.
I'll allow that. Pretty sure the person who put the bounty on your head is dead now too.
Yeah, funny.
That's convenient.
Mm.
I have a word of caution that I'm offering to you only for fond memories, if you would. I wouldn't trust Zolan Gurgarets
I don't.
any more than you have to.
Oh, of course not.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I may be looking for work.
Hey, guys,
Right?
we have a lot of money, don't we?
Nope.
No, you're mostly broke now.
Oh, no.
I still have mine. Didn't spend it.
We put all our
I
money together and offer
We
money
have
to the
we have
philandery.
Dren's money.
I do not generally suggest my services before offering them. However, if you would appreciate some sort of action involved with Zolan Gurgurets, I would be willing. Or if you have enough money, I am legitimately for hire.
Hmm. I was actually thinking the exact same thing.
Has he done something against you? Is that any particular reason you're offering this?
Mm,
I'll take that as a yes, but you'd rather not speak of it.
there's a code you follow, even when you're not associated with one of the guild, and he, or it, sorry, looks suggestively at Seeker. Um, when you take on the profession of bounty hunter, and I will not talk about any past clients, but I haven't always enjoyed my work, and I will leave it at that.
I know the feeling, that's for sure.
I don't. I'm a good person.
How can we contact you?
I have postings on every major bounty hunter network. Feel free to email me.
Oh yeah, we will. I know you're quite effective. I
Here's
can still-
hoping I don't have to kill you again.
I can still feel your footprint on my chest.
Some people pay extra.
Carlos chooses to say nothing and just looks stoically on. This is probably the most conversation you've had with Carlos yet.
With the exception of right before I died. Yeah.
Correct. You had a little bit more there. Did you have anything else to say to Krellis?
Nope.
What would be your asking price for this?
Negotiable.
We'll be in touch.
Is it possible for you to find his phylactery?
That's
You
a
mean
good
the
question.
encephalogram?
Yeah.
That's
No,
not.
his phylactery.
That's not a simple task. I could. It will cost you.
Why not throw us a number?
Let's negotiate and think about it later, right?
Let's negotiate and think about it later. I'd have to really check what finances look like for level 9 characters. I actually quite don't know.
Zero doesn't say it out loud, but wonders how much any type of bounty on Dren would be. Because I'm sure he has plenty of those.
If he
40
keeps
credits,
talking to
50
Krellis,
credits.
it'll be free.
Yeah. A drink.
You'd be like, oh, I'll do it too. You know what? I'll get rid of Miller again. 2 for 1 deal. How about that?
Buy one, get one.
Dren asks Krellis, "Who paid you to try to kill me?" Krellis says, "You literally just tried to sell me into slavery."
Anything else for the bounty hunter?
I ain't got diddly.
We'll be in touch, I'm sure.
All right. Krellis, for the time being, exits the establishment, and that's where we will end the episode.
Right.
We're about to jump into the after party next week. I have
Some of you
no
are.
idea what we are doing, but it won't be Starfinder. The following week after that, because we're on an every other Starfinder cycle, we'll be back to the next bit. The next bit will be a little bit accelerated, just so you guys know my players. So if you're looking to do something,
Are we? Because isn't the week after that New Year's Eve?
oh, let's look at a calendar together. Actually, that's a good call. I don't do anything on New Year's Eve because I have no life and I'm 31 years old. So feel free to pick your poison. If you guys are busy, we can definitely do something else.
I am free New Year's Eve as of right now. I am not free New Year's Day.
Hopefully, I'm not either. Right now, it looks like I'm not.
Will probably be at my parents' hanging out. I think that was our plan. I'm not sure.
Okay, we
I
can.
mean,
do
there's
this.
usually the party at Rob's, but I don't actually know if he's doing it.
All right. I tell you what. We might skip a week. So just be mindful, guys.
Stay updated with us next Tuesday.
Yeah, well, I'll give more details next Tuesday. We clearly haven't thought about the end of the year. I might do a holiday special thing on New Year's Eve. We'll do whoever wants to play some tabletop. We'll do like a fun holiday tabletop. That's my current guess right now. We'll be back to Starfinder at some point. Hang out with us on Twitter at NSTPcast for more information, or join our Discord at bit.ly/neverdiscord, and we will keep you guys all up to date there. Until next week, just remember, never split the party.
Yeah, Pat.
Yeah, Pat.
Patrick.
I didn't.
Yeah,
Pat.
Patrick.
You did.